Recently, I've had a few people say to me, "You're so pretty, I don't understand how you're not in a relationship." And while I appreciate that compliment, I don't see how being pretty and being in a relationship go hand in hand. But what I will say is, I am a product of my generation. What does that mean, you ask? Well, that means my standards are entirely too high. I have a fear of commitment. I have trust issues. I have daddy issues. And I have mommy issues. And I romanticize unrealistic relationships that I see. The list could really go on and on. So it's not necessarily like I don't have options, but I have a lot of toxic traits that I need to work on first.
Okay, so I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong when it comes to dating, but this is the third time in the past few weeks that I have gotten ready to go on a date and I end up getting ghosted. I'm starting to think it's me because it's happened so many times that I'm like, well, I am the main consistent thing in the same scenario. So like I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
All right, first of all, kudos to these women for actually admitting that they have things to work on, because that is the first step towards any type of recovery, any type of progress or improvement with yourself, is admitting that you are not perfect as everyone keeps telling you you are because they want to get in your pants. So I will give them credit where credit is due. At least they are admitting that, hey, this could be me. This could be my fault, right? Which very few women get to even that point these days, right? It's like most women these days, like, nope, I'm perfect. It's these men's fault. I don't care if it's been 2 decades of me getting flaked on and being used on these dating apps and going on a string of first dates and never landing a man. No, it's got to be them. And not only that, I think I'll fix this problem by doubling down, even tripling down, and upping my requirements and what I deserve and how I want to be treated, so people will really know what not to mess with me. No. Right? So I at least give these women credit for the fact that they are admitting some accountability, right? And they're taking some responsibility. However, that is where the buck stops, because clearly these chicks are both delusional still, and they're living in a 24/7 state of cognitive dissonance, meaning that the problem is staring them right in the face, but they refuse to fix it, right? They're getting like the first girl. Let me talk about her real quick. So the first woman we featured in our series of clips tonight, this woman is clearly in her late 30s. The way you could tell is she's starting to lose the volume in her face, and her eyes are starting to sink in a bit, and she's starting to look a little bit more masculine. Her hair is starting to get a little bit more coarse and stringy. It's not as like nice and fluffy as it was in her 20s. So you can tell she is getting older, and she's talking about how she says, "Oh, people always tell me I'm pretty, but you know what? That does not correlate to being into a relationship." Lady, yes it does. Yes it does. If you are a female, even if you're a male, right, it does correlate to you being in a relationship, because when you are pretty, you have those options, right? You have those options to be in a relationship. However, if you're damaged, which I hate to say, she is damaged, right? She even said it herself. She didn't say it exactly that way, but she did admit she has toxic traits, and she has mommy issues. She has daddy issues. She has mental issues, right? As many of these women do that stay single. There's a reason that nobody wifed them up in their 20s, because I've always told you, good women do get wifed up very early, right? Guys snatch these chicks up. These women who are good, who are not only attractive, but are just good women, and they're submissive, they're supportive, they're feminine, they're respectful, they know how to treat a man. They're not like constant takers in a relationship where they're like, take, you do for me, I don't do anything for you, you do everything for me. They don't come in with this attitude. No, those girls that are like that are that are still feminine get snatched up, they get wiped up. But the ones that don't, they will stay out there on the market, right? They will stay out there on the clearance rack, as I call it, right? That Walmart clearance rack. It will still be up there. Nobody will have purchased it. And then you might ask yourself, why? Why is this, and that's always the bigger red flag, is like when you see a female that is attractive and she's still out there, right? It's, it's, at least you can kind of, play mind games with yourself, play like a little mental gymnastics. If she's like, say, a 4 or 5, she's a bit overweight, not really attractive, she's in her 30s and still single, you might say to yourself, oh, okay, well, she's not really hot, so that's probably why. But for these women who are like a 7 and above, that are cute, even hot, and are still single into their 30s, that's a terribly huge red flag. And as you can see with this woman, she even admitted that. She was like, well, people tell me I'm pretty, why are you single? And then she goes, this really burns my bridge, but she goes, it's not like I don't have options. I have those options. Yeah, you have options that a lot of women don't, especially a lot of men don't, right? A lot of men don't have those options. I mean, it just completely just burns me when these chicks just devalue the amount of power that they have over men, the amount of aka options they have when it comes to men, relationships, the ability to choose, whereas men don't have that, right? That's why they say women sleep with who they want, men sleep with who they can. Women have that type of power, and what do? They take advantage of it. What do? They don't, they have so many options in their 20s to just land one good guy and stay with that guy, but instead they choose to just take advantage of those options, play the field, and next thing you know, they wake up, they're 38 years old, they're still out there, they've slept with way too many men, nobody wants them anymore, their eyes are sinking in, their hair is thinning out, they're getting older, they can't get the high value guy anymore, now they're relegated to these lower tier guys on the dating apps that are, even those guys are just using them as a side chick. Right? This is why I keep telling these chicks, you gotta cash it in while you're still young, right? That is something feminism will never ever tell you. Feminism will never tell you to cash it in while you're young. Instead, they will tell you that you could ride the carousel for as long as you want. There's not going to be any repercussions. You could chase your corporate career for as long as you want. There's not going to be any repercussions, right? The high value guy will be waiting for you when you're in your 30s, your 40s. He's going to be there. Don't worry, girl. He'll be there. And you deserve this. You deserve that. You deserve everything and more. No, that's a lie, right? That's the lie you've been sold. But, kudos to them that at least they're admitting it. I don't see them really changing things much here. Unless they want to just start giving themselves to men more and just start being a little more generous with who they are and being more supportive as female, just acting more like a woman, man, acting more like a lady. That's what guys are looking for. All right, but the first chick we featured with the tattoos, that's already a big red flag. She has like a sleeve tattoo. I think it's on her right arm. Yeah, she has a sleeve tattoo, and even that in itself is a red flag, right? Statistically, that's a bad sign. The second chick we featured, the thing I will say about both of them is both of them, well, I was gonna say both of them don't look like they did their lips, but it kind of does look like they did their lips, right? It kind of does. It is such a turn off. I don't know why these chicks feel the need to inflate their lips. I don't know a single guy who's like, you know what type of girl I'm looking for? You know what type of girl I want to meet on boot camp tonight? What? A girl with inflated lips. That's my dream. A girl with inflated lips and fake curls in her hair. That's what I'm looking for. I've never had a single guy say that to me. Right? If anything, I've heard guys have wanted women who are natural. Right? They're like, I just want a girl who's naturally beautiful, that doesn't wear a whole lot of makeup, that doesn't look like a streetwalker, and that that's cool to hang out with, that doesn't sit there and talk about herself over and over and over and never ask me a single question. I just want a cool girl. Guys, we have very, very low requirements, man. I mean, we have very simple requirements. I shouldn't call it low, but very simple requirements for what we look for in a partner. And these chicks can't even fulfill that. But these two chicks we featured in tonight's coaching video here, they can easily get a guy if they would just make it more about the guy and less about themselves. And that's advice for all modern women out there today, is if you make it less about you and more about him, you can land a pretty decent guy, right? Will he be the highest value guy? Will he be the Chad you could have got in your 20s? No. Okay, sorry, those days are gone. Well, I'm not sorry, but no, those days are gone. You can't get that guy anymore, and you just have to live with that reality. You can't get that guy anymore, but you know what you can get? You can get a pretty decent guy, okay? He's gonna be a lower value guy. He's not gonna be making as much money as the guy you could have gotten in your 20s, but you know what? He's gonna be a decent guy, and he's gonna treat you good as long as you treat him good, and he won't go anywhere as long as you don't go anywhere and you treat him good. Okay? But as always, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video, guys. Anything you'd like to add, anything you would like to share, drop them in the comments below. Always love to see you guys in my comments. Always love to read them, so drop those comments below. As always, this is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out here. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash that notification bell as well so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure that if you love my work, if you love what I'm teaching here, it's adding value to your life, if you want to help me out, jump into 7 months of mastery. You're going to get a ton of value out of it. This is my personal program where I teach you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women in the world. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. I'm not talking about single moms, divorced single moms, damaged women over 30, women with 5 therapists. No, I'm talking about the cream of the crop, just young, attractive, beautiful, and very classic and traditional women who are not like modern women. I teach you where to find these girls, how to cold approach them, and how to bring them into your life. I have many successful students around the world now, many of which have gotten married and had children and had families. It's crazy, with women that are, that are beyond, let's say, a bit out of their league, to put it nicely, right? They were able to get women who were more attractive than they would normally have gotten if they hadn't been in mastery, and women that they probably would not have found if they had never gone through my mastery program and learned my teachings, right? So I teach you this stuff, and I teach you from a red pill perspective. I'm a professional pickup artist. I've been out there for the last 3 decades now. I've been coaching men since the 90s, so I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I know how to find these girls. I still go out to this very day, and so I'm still fresh in the game, and you're gonna learn a ton and get a ton out of value out of my 7 months of mastery program, right? And it's really easy to sign up. Well, right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons, so take advantage of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now.